oh. See, you have a current of energy, and you know, we can go either way. We can we can feed into something that reciprocates or it's non-reciprocating. See that's what I mean. It can go either way, but the non-reciprocating thing is kind of a zap. Um, so there's currency, right? Currency, and so then there's a when I was talking about this energy currency. Now, if we get into the narcissist realm, um, it's about energy for them. They're on binary processing, which isn't really hooked up into the trinary, which includes reality and the truth. It's binary. And I understand that more. I kind of explaining it more. And it's highly scientific, but we have to bring up these words and pin it because this is what we're going to start understanding things more. If you look at the what it means, it just means of two, right? Binary, and trinary means of three. So uh, I'm just channeling some things and I'm trying to get this brilliance out that really it's the truth, but it's not easy. It's not easy. The saying goes that I've heard, do you want to be right or would you rather be happy? And then there's another saying going, it's like, well, happiness is not really the top tippy toppy thing we're doing here as an experience of, or an achievement. Try understanding over that, and then you'll understand what happiness really is. It's like it's your sorrow unmasked. Um, Sorry, I just got drawn a blank. How terrible. But I've been putting some stuff up that's I think is it's important to me. Um, not things are not getting any easier here. In fact, see, the thing is when you make a breakthrough about some things, and it's not going to change right away, but you're just happier with yourself because you see something really. Most likely, you tore down an illusion, and you're like, wait a minute, I'm free to just go over there and prove to everything myself that this is easy, and something else is going to try to say now you can't have that easy life or something like that, and I don't know. There's, there was something I wanted to. Oh, oh, it's because I'm channeling. No, we're talking about the currency between. See, there's some people that now we're talking. Now, listen to me, babes. We're moving into extinction as far as the human civilization. If it's totally transhumanized, there isn't the authentic energy of God operating. It's very desert like. It's just, it could be a machine, whatever. It's going to lose a lot. Nobody's going to be planting trees. It's going to die around here. A lot has already died. You know, it's a very delicate life that we are involved with. What I want to say is, like the Indians would say, is like, no, Earth Gaia is alive and you're part of her, and the condition of your inner is reflecting on the outer, and you know this might be just a school here to learn. Are you qualifying to be a creator? Are you interested in the universe? I mean, cases there was an outer space and we're looking at galaxies and there was other life. What do you think is going on here? Do you think you can connect anything up, rhyme or reason? Like, can you even put a golf ball down a gutter and get it to roll out the other side smoothly without a question? If it was there prepared for you, could you do it? Geometry, try. Geometry, just what's here already. Did you surrender and just think, you know, we really don't have to do much but listen and stay in a state? See, I was going to talk about the runners. There are runners in the phenomena. Okay, so when they get when they get it's time to get energy. There's people that are feeding. I wanted to talk about the currency, mainly the transfer. The transfer. There's a transfer of energy. See, it's a drag. There is some that they don't prey on you, but when you're down, that's where they're like, yes, now I can move in because you don't have no choice. You want water, right? And then while they're giving you water, they're stealing they're molesting you or doing something. That's a scenario tenfold. It's like a human need arose, and then there's who is it? Who is it? Come on, chime in. The narcissist. The root cause for all diseases, by the way. Yeah. And there's a cure for your disease. You need to know this. It's a change in vibrational frequency that you need to achieve. And the crisis that we face right now, I don't know if you know this, there's just businesses ran. Your food is geared to make you lean over into more illness, and your waters are not purified. They're in fact poisoned. And I don't know why we have to talk about this, but see, there's something happening with how that Chiron is going to do something, and so we got to look at the astrology more, but really see with Mars conjunct Neptune, which is actually coming on the 28th, it's exact, or the 29th. It's at 28 degrees. And we've never been at this degree Pisces. In fact, we're never going to have another conjunction with Mars and Neptune in Pisces ever again. Not for another 200 and some odd years or something, or more. And the Pisces era, see, astrology is just pointing at the experiences that might be having, we are having. In reality, and Pisces embodies the information field of, well, what is God? The whole question of what is happening in existence here, which will start to pan out into different religions. Like, it's really hard to tell, Pisces, it points at, the Piscean age is when so-called Christ walked the earth. It gets really Christy. Now, the Pisces people, you will never know a holier person, and that's actually the truth. You're privileged to know these people, but they don't even know themselves so much to the point it's like, look at how fucked up they kind of get all screwed up. If they don't turn into a literal alcoholic and then they have to try to get rid of that, what happens is the extremes. Now they're a prude, tacky, fucking Christ-loving blah blah. And do they even break through the mind control? Why? We can say that a lot of them, those are like the master narcissists, because of what they have to understand about how they're hooked up to just the ocean of all existence. Really, all of this, all of it is me. That's my religion. I am one with the universe. Did I find the right one? If you hear crickets, most likely, hi Jesus, how's your crickets going? I'm eating them. Oh, sorry, my ventriloquism is way off. It's almost like I'm Jesus over there. Jesus, is that you over there? Yes. Thank you. You're welcome. Hope that looked good for the kids. I had it really. I get my shit down when I'm less stressed. But then again, it's like when you have a certain amount of stress, then you get pushed into another thing. But the thing is you don't let anything be a false savior of just really. It's just like, really, these are all my own faculties, and I thought that you would want in on the living. That's why you're here. I mean, really, that's really the truth is. I wanted to do this. Does it upset you that I'm doing exactly what I want still, even having you sitting there fucking with me? I'm just still tolerating. I'm just still saying, look, you have a chance to not do that. We have a chance to talk in such a way that's unreal. Just start communicating. Click your whole drama over whatever you think you're doing with people and set it aside and say, would you like to talk about what we're looking at here? Do you have compassion for that one or that one? Or are they both involved in your compassionate system? Or do you know what compassion is? Like, do you know, do you even see the bubble? Can you get outside of your bubble and see the other bubble? There's only one bubble behind all bubbles. And I was talking about it. I've never kind of gone away from that. To me, it's like it's a no-brainer. All right, so we have reality, and there's hurdles called what are they? The truth. We get over them, or we get under them, or whatever. And did you uh, notice the conversation we can have coming out of that? Yes or no? It's uh, a lot of times we can get on top of that too. It's like foresight. It's like we already know that, but right? It's not ever get hung up on the obvious. It's like there's a hurdle. Well, you didn't get over it, and it's nothing of what you ever thought it was. See, God, it's really hard to talk about what's happening with. See, you can say one thing, and see, there's two types of people here: binary processor, purely see, this is what needs is doing money. It falls into it like it's like in case you can't be as creative as a heart and be like that, and you just know how to work. You know that it's like I thought that this is what we're doing. We're just contributing. What is this? And what is this? What is coming out? All of this. You're getting up and going to work, but there is so many more advertisements of disgruntled saying, you know what? We are tired of this system that runs us to the bone and nothing has come out of it. I personally have worked with multimillionaires who have backed me into a corner. It happens to empaths where we'll have the most deepest conversations. And one of them says, you know what? I don't know what any of this was for. I've gone 25 years. I've sent my kids through college. I don't even know if that was worth anything. I, I just inherited what I've done this and this business here. Um, I, that I'm finishing up. She was selling it. And she says, I just don't know if it was worth a damn. She knew me pretty damn good, that woman. I worked for her a long time. She had respect for me. I can tell. I talked about her once before. She did something for me that was like, wow. You write you write to the courthouse and say, excuse me, this person is being, you need to understand this side of the story. You don't look at just that face I just made and pin me to it. Narcissists do. They're all to all the feelings ever. I'm sorry. See, this is how you get cancer. This is so weird because they call cancer cancer. Babes. In astrology, cancer is pointing at your feelings. You're intuitive, very immediate, day to day. It's connected to the moon. It's connected to your mother. It's connected to this very more sensitive apparatus that each individual man or woman can really cultivate it. A woman is kind of a natural. Now, I'm not getting biased. I'm going to keep going like this is extreme because we are dangerous if you realize that if there's somebody fooling themselves and they don't have the nerve endings and they're not really honoring the fact that maybe something else is more sensitive to you to see the truth better and maybe sit down and listen. I know you want to do something right, so but maybe consider that there is a way to see it and you can kind of use us as a looking glass. You can look through me. Use me as a looking glass. Didn't Christ Jesus say that? Jesus Christ was a woman, by the way. It's the sensitive one inside of you that would say, excuse me. And that doesn't even make sense. You can't do that inside of the situation where there's just mobs and bullies. You can see within just your personal setting how antsy this thing gets, babes. Let me tell you right now. I was talking about cancer, how that they're telling us right away. If you ignore your feelings, you're going to get cancer. The way that you stay away from all of that, and I'm sorry, but all of humanity has this lesson. And I point at women on my side of the spectrum. That's all I can stand for because I'm a woman, and I say, you know what? No, you don't go away from like especially your body. I mean, I know. See, the psychology thing, we got that down, but then there's the invasion of the body, and you're like, no, actually, we feel good like this. And she has a profound responsibility sexually. sexually for just herself. She's, babes, she is I'm sorry, I'm speaking up for like 75 to 80% that do not have an orgasm through just penetration. I didn't just say they're not having fun and they can't work it out that way, but to relax and, it's about knowing the whole spectrum of her and her entire body. The whole situation is something to figure out, to learn how that it's a sexual being. And it's the same for men, but I can only sit and talk. See, I don't relate with a lot of women because right now they just shut down on me. I think and men too. They just did something like, I don't know, but I can only be what I am. I'm nearly 50. And I'm like, by the way, we're not going to keep quiet about our experiences, are we? Because that's sure letting down. It's a big letdown, especially if your eye is open and you see 2020. You're like, Jesus H. Christ, I'm getting these downloads, by the way. Getting back to how it's just apparent. There is a language here already, and it kind of is joking. It says if you don't look at your cancer, you're not going to see the answer to cancer, all of the diseases. You better stick up for your awareness as a body. You use your eyes, you use your ears, you use your tongue, you use your nose, you use your mouth, you use your feelings. And what the main thing is here, you fucking narcissists, I love you. But mainly you need to know it's somebody's responsibility. There's one person that's got a natural knack for it. She is much more she has a weakness that's not the same as the one that's prone to the weakness that is the disease of the mind, that is the disease as mind, is men. That's just the way it is. They have a powerful tool there. And but if he doesn't know it's there and hook up to the master, which is the heart, then he doesn't have a leader, and he's not born automatically hooked up. The women are, kind of thing. And I don't really think it's the heart that's hooked up. It's they are hooked up to their body more. I don't know. I'm getting sick trying to talk about this because it's really none of my business. But no, there's a humanitarian. See this, you will get sick. I don't know about you, but I get the jitters when it comes to the issues between men and women. Like I said, I have always wanted nothing to do with these two. None of them impressed me all my life. Not even in the very beginning. I was like, oh God, this, you know what? I'm going to try this. I'm going to stick to what I've always stick to. It's just pure awareness. Pure awareness. As a character on this plane, um, you want to see, naturally, you want to be on the side that is free, that seems like they're more free. Less responsibility, stuff like that. And don't men look that way? I mean, they don't really have the makeup to to give birth and then stick with that. Like, say what I mean is to raise the kid, stick with it, stick with it, stick with it. No, I think that, and it's none of their business really. A woman naturally kind of knows that. She's like, no, this is my idea. Yeah, no, if they're a good woman, they're like that. They're not dragging a man into it, not in the way that it's happening. And I didn't just say that. She should say, okay, thank you. But that's what they kind of do. And they get, that's a narcissist, babes. In fact, a psycho to boot. You can't be a woman and be a narcissist. They found out, it's in the 90s they come up with this because it's getting more prevalent in women that they have the disease of narcissism because it's more prevalent in men. There's where the study has to start. It's like, oh God, and it kind of starts early. You can see, oh no, and if you let that keep going as a smaller kid that starts playing a mind game, see, the only one that has this like make or break ability is the mother. The mother. I'll say it like that, like my mom, like my grandma. Um, so the mother has this profound, I don't know if it comes naturally. See, this is where I can't speak because I'm not a mother. But I imagine, see, some things come naturally and it could be weird. It could be this urge. See, this is what the problem is, why there is narcissism and how that not only, see, narcissism comes with an idealized version of something going on. See, Boy, it's very, very, very in the gray, and I didn't want to wind up talking about this, but I think that one of my subscribers here, and somebody who is the only one who dares respond, I guess, and I'm somebody who will lash out, and I'm mean. It's only because I have feelings. I don't deny that there's a hard time happening here, and that the only thing that can create something different for us is our anger. People are, when you push that down, you'll get a disease. When you push down the fact that you need to get depressed, deep rest, you'll get a disease. If you push down the fact that, well, now I'm going through a time of grieving and sadness, what is this? You will get a fucking disease. You don't push down feelings, you don't push down emotions, you understand where they're coming from more and more. That's our advanced intelligence system. We start out communicating with that, and if we lose it, we're doomed. We have to remain in the mode of the passion of a child that will cry at the drop of just something that doesn't feel right. Feel. And to cure so-called cancer, which is really to cure dis-ease, you look into it very deeply. You say, oh God, this doesn't feel right to me. And having said that, if you can imagine how much, because I don't know a single person. I mean, I'm battling something myself, and I'm refusing. I don't believe in the medical system. I know what's going on. A lot of our diseases is spiritual disease. You can contract it from people who are, in fact, spiritually impoverished. You don't understand something that there is a rise above to try to not only achieve individually, but the entire human population needs to emerge, and it hasn't. It's struggling. For right now, it's struggling to say, you know what? No, we are actually a technology that's hooked into something bigger. There's a technology. There is an intelligence here. God has created us. You do not go to science. You do not think that hooking people's brains up is the way. We've already had a way that we've communicated. It's happening through the 100th monkey theory. We have plasmatic field. We have an intelligence. If anything, the sun is helping helping us, the cosmos, the entire. That's what astrology is here doing. We have a possibility within us that is hardly known anymore, and it's drastically going away. Right? I was thinking of my mother, how that she wrote everything down, and she just left journals of just exactly what she went through, and she has a vocabulary that it's like I inherited some of that vocabulary, just some. These people are really smart. Just the more detail you can get into it, the more you can communicate, especially to yourself, but then writing it down maybe and creating a book for other people to go in and just work and learn. See, really you're learning something more than the obvious than just getting lost with your mind there, going into another person's experience. You're learning how to communicate also. Why to communicate, how impactful it is. Maybe you'll learn how to communicate. And we can't afford to not do that now. I can't. It's the weirdest thing because what I'm going through personally is extremely, it's wow. So now I have to communicate something that would break a barrier. See, they keep putting up a barrier. That's what narcissists, I don't know, your abuser or whatever you have around you. People that are running. There's a lot of runners. I wanted to talk. Now you're getting into some personal stuff at minute 23, and I don't like it. I don't like letting people in things. I really don't. Really don't. But where else can we come from? See, I don't. I make sure. I'm like, wait a minute. Is this my experience? Yeah. It's like, yes, no. I was talking about no, yes. I'm talking about how I'm pretty sure that there's historical. Maybe it's almost scientific now. Very vague, I guess. But why is it so vague? Because we've stopped telling the story. We just don't care anymore. But really, I know the story is real because it's happening to me. That the feminine is being squeezed out of existence, out of perception, out of perceptual reality, which it's just you're not going to see anything rendering up through the fact that we know that the feminine is here, and then the conditions we find within the human organism that is like life as we know it, is not going to reflect that we know anything about that there, in fact, is a woman here. That's all I'm saying. I happen to suspect that. And then when you go, I'm just through experience a little bit. Now, there's a term called alive woman and then dead woman. There's a term called dead woman. Now, these are women who stay in abusive relationships. They don't remove themselves away from it. You know, if it's deadened, if it's not, if it's just, oh gosh, you got to be careful because, you know, she could be a narcissist too. And the kids are looking at this and all they want to do is get away from it. They know that there's, like, I'm doomed for how long? I'm going to morph into all this before I can break free. If they're lucky, they do, you know, they get their own life. But a lot of them, they don't all turn into destroyed pieces of work. I think more and more we're graduating up out of saying, you know what, we don't have to take on the attitudes of these people. I am not these people, period. There's something called individuation separation that psychologists figure that this is what's happening. It has to happen by the age. Now, when does that happen? Well, it's a process. It happens by the age 3 that your personality is fully sealed. How you will emotionally respond for the rest of your life to other people and even to your own needs through having experienced other people reacting to your emotions. Now, having said that, some Mormons, I've heard, they have a little pamphlet that tells them that in case they don't know, and getting back to a natural instinct of a woman, basically, or a mother. See, basically, I don't have to be a mother to know that, oh my God, put me on a farm where if an animal is hurt or something, I don't control it. I'm on it. You cannot control. I don't question, well, I think I should wait a little bit and let it cry a little bit because it'll make it, no, not really. No, you should imagine a society that just shut up and took care of how somebody felt if it was an alarm. Getting back to, you want to avoid cancer, right? Or do you want to avoid your feelings? Do you want to avoid your cancer or do you want to avoid your feelings? Do you want to avoid your cancer or do you want to avoid your feelings? Isn't that weird how they call it cancer and it's coming from that? That society doesn't just fucking say, wow, no, no, you are. And I just wanted to be your friend. Come on, make them cry. Bring out a violin. Feelings, you fucking asshole, going to the movies and getting jerked around with a violin scene every 5 minutes. Why can't we bring this into real